Rob Whittaker, Marvin Vettori, man, this was a clinic. This was, y'all must have forgot times 10. This was the Reaper saying, listen, man, I am the best, dangerous, the baddest man in the division aside from Izzy, and I'm still more dangerous than Izzy. I still got, I still put more fear in fighters' hearts than Izzy does. I make fighters not want to fight anymore. I'm that type of fighter. The contentment that he has, AJ, being the number one contender, knowing that there's only one man in front of him stopping him from his goals and his dreams, makes you think that talks to go to 205, that's not even remotely close. Robbert Whittaker is staying at 185, and he's going to ride this thing out, man. And he's going to say, me and Izzy, we're fighting. I don't care if we got to fight 10 times. We're going to keep fighting for that title. Let me ask you, this arguably has to be one of the most impressive wins of Robbert Whittaker's career. And even though it doesn't come against the most star-studded name of an opponent, Marvin Vettori isn't the star-studded name, he is the grinder. He is the workhorse. He is the man who makes everybody look kind of bad. And Robbert Whittaker made him look like he was just some like number 12 ranked dude, like it was nobody's business. He shouldn't even really have been in there with him. How big was this win? Am I overcounting this or what do you think?
No, Derek, this win was massive, bro, especially because in the pre-show we were talking, or I was saying that sometimes Robbert Whittaker has a tendency to fight to the other fighter's level. This proved right here that Robbert Whittaker knows at some points, man, he's got to fight to his fullest potential, and he showed up this last night and absolutely put it to Marvin Vettori. One of the big things that I was so surprised about, or like what kind of did it for me, was whenever Marvin Vettori was coming in on takedowns, shucking him off full power, get off me. This is how we're fighting. We're here. And then he comes back and starts cracking him with combos. Big win, huge performance for Robbert Whittaker on this fight, man. And this, like you said, this is y'all must have forgot, because this is prime Bobby Knuckles, man. Gonna keep things where I want to keep the fight, how I want to style this one up, and I'm gonna make this my kind of fight. This is Robbert Whittaker's all day long, man. This is a very impressive win for him. And it's going to be another fighter who's going to be undeniable for that title shot once he just whoops everybody's ass that's, relegated to fight him.
And Marvin Vettori, if he can't take you down, there's one thing he's really good at, and that's holding you up against the cage. And he couldn't do either against Whittaker. That just went to show. So, is this a lesson in humbleness, AJ? Because Marvin Vettori says, I'm better than him everywhere. I'm a better striker. I'm a better wrestler. He can't grapple with me. When he went to shake his hand in the ceremonial weigh-ins, he said, no, none of that. I'm going to fuck you up, whatever the case may be. And Robbert Whittaker, I told you earlier, I was like, none of the trash talk is going to get to him because he's already been against the opponents who are just belligerent in his face. And he's just like, whoa, bro, chill. You know what I mean? I just want to shake your hand. I'm going to whoop your ass on Saturday. Like, don't even trip. You know what I'm saying? Is this a lesson in humility for Marvin Vettori? Because this is one of the few times where after the fight, he was genuinely humble. And he wasn't like, no, I won that fight. I can't accept this loss, right? Like he did against Izzy. I think he respects Whittaker more. And I think he actually thinks, and this is in my opinion, I mean, who knows? But I think he thinks Whittaker is more of an elite opponent than Israel Adesanya. What do you think?
I could see where you're coming from. I think just at the end of the day, we were talking that Marvin Vettori needs to be hyped up. He needs that aggression. He needs all those stunts. And I think he was more so not really telling the press or telling Robbert Whittaker that he was better than everybody. He was telling himself that, trying to get himself kind of hyped up and get that going. And that's why he pulled the old no handshake, nah. But at the end of the day, I mean, you get your ass whooped by a dude who's still humble, still like, oh, you're good, man, don't worry. Like, you can't be mad at him. So I think that's at the end of the day why Marvin Vettori at the Izzy fight was still pissed off, still angry at the Paulo Costa fight, still, even though he got the W, still upset. And for this one, I feel like you can't be mad at the guy. One just whooped your ass for 15 minutes, and he's still humble and still nice. It was nice the entire time and never faltered at all, where you were over here being a dick, and then now you're like, all right, yeah, that was my bad.
Yeah, I kind of felt like we needed to see Angry Marvin in there for him to have a little more success, because it felt like he wasn't going after it the way that he should have. But how can you when the karate style of Whittaker is just blitzing on you every time that you try to enter range? That was what's scary. That he really went karate mode, Whittaker, right? Because he was coming in just chilling, wow, with that right hand coming in. Right hand, head kick over the top, and Vettori ate those, bro. They were saying breaking news, you know what I mean? I'm not going to play the music, right? But it was like breaking news. It was like diamond is no longer the world's hardest, material. Now it's Marvin Vettori. It's his head, bro, because this dude was eating shin to the dome multiple times. He ate a nasty shot literally on the top of his head, and they were even like, you can't take too many more of those, bro. Marvin Vettori has heart. He has a chin. But Robbert Whittaker is the supreme fighter. And let's not get it twisted here, folks. I know I picked for Vettori, but what did I say on the pre-show? I said if this is standing, Whittaker picks this man apart. Like, it's a completely different level, and he showcased that. So that was my one hope of victory. I said if Vettori can snag a takedown, he could change the fight. He didn't come anywhere remotely close. Robbert Whittaker, you are the man. It's as simple as that. And this is the big penultimate question. I guess ultimate, because penultimate would be the one before the ultimate, right? You know, this is the big overarching question. Robbert Whittaker versus Israel Adesanya, when it's all said and done. If Izzy can defend against Alex Pereira, if when it's all said and done, how many of these fights do we see? Do we see 3? Do we see 4? Do we see 5? I mean, if they stick around in the division, how many do we see?
I mean, we've already seen 2?
We've seen 2, and Izzy got the best of them both times, but it was a lot closer in that second one.
A lot closer. I think if they both stay in the thing, I think we're going to be up here around 5, man. It's going to be the first time you see 5 people fight, or 2 guys fight 5 times, because Izzy's got 2, Robbert Whittaker gets 1. Let's say he gets the 3rd, right? You got to get the rematch. You got to get the it wouldn't be a rubber match at that point, you get, because it's 4 now, right? So let's say Robbert Whittaker gets that one. You know, you got to give Izzy the final, like, all right, you're 2-2 now, guys. We got to even this one out, or now we're even. We got to fix this one. We got to, solidify it. I think we're in it for a 5. I doubt. I mean, I don't think we'll get there, because I think Izzy will probably get, number 3 or number 4. It's if Robbert Whittaker does get one of them, but I don't know, man. What do you think?
Well, it's tough, because if you think about the only one that really has the merit for that many, right? So far, it's Brandon Moreno versus Davison Figueiredo, and they're going to go on 4. Right? So if they can get to 4 and something crazy happens, like let's say Brandon Moreno wins, well, now you have a case for Figueiredo being like, well, what's up? I want to fight again. Now that's 5. If that can go 5, this can go 5. I'll just say this. Whittaker's probably going to win one of those, man. You get so close. Every time you're getting closer. You're nipping on the heels. I'm just going to say that. Listen, domination win. Robbert Whittaker. This was a surgical performance right there.